Okay, so today's topic is a very morbid one. We'll be studying how to predict, how to analyze the moment of death. Okay, now from the perspective of prana, which is the vayu that contains the mental impressions. Okay, your mental impressions are actually carried, are actually governed by the udan vayu. Now, the Udan Vayu is the Vayu that actually carries the mental impressions of one birth to the next birth. Okay, so just when somebody dies, all his mental expressions, all his mental impressions are carried by the Udan Vayu to the next birth that he's going to take. So that's why it is said that Udan Vayu regarding Udan Vayu that at the time of death you should have good thoughts. You should have good. You should chant good names of gods and deities, and whoever is your guru. You have to think about him. You should have good thoughts uh, about the things that you have done in your life at the time of your death, because that is the thought, that is the mental pattern, that is the mental image that you are going to carry to the next life. Okay, like Mahatma Gandhi at the time of death, he said, "Hey Ram," and frankly speaking, sun is in the 12th house of moksha for him, and probably he would have got moksha because the last thing that he spoke was his favorite deity, Bhagwan Ram. So, it is generally said in Hinduism that at the end of your life, at the time of your death, you should only think about the Paramatma, the God. The reason just now I explained. Whatever mental image you are creating at the time of death, that gets carried to the next life. Now, that mental image, if it is good one, it's obviously going to have a good repercussions in your next life. If it is a bad one, like uh, if somebody dies a very bad death, very gory death, a very torturous condition, somebody gets trapped in the earthquake burden, or some in crash in a plane crash, or some very gory accident, then the mental image that he carries to the next life is very troublesome. Now, this you have to study uh, from the D60 chart, Shastyansha chart, to basically understand how the past life was. But in a nutshell, from the perspective of Prana Pada, since we are studying in this series the Prana Pada lagna, so let me tell you the place of Udan Vayu. The first place of Udan Vayu is in the Prana Pada lagna itself. Okay, so your prana, the first house from the Prana Pada lagna, is deciding the sense of taste. Okay, so if there is any planet in the first house in the Prana Pada lagna, then that will decide your taste. If Jupiter is there, you could be liking sweet. You will have a sweet tooth. Moon is there, you'll like something salty. Okay, so that way you have to decide. You can decide what is your taste. Now, what is taste associated with? Your tongue. Okay, so whatever you speak at the time of your death, that becomes the impression on the Udan Vayu at that point. So here is the key. Here is the key. Here's the key technique to this. Like, you know that the second and the eighth house, they are the Rudra Bhava. They are the Rudra Bhava from the Prana Pada lagna. Prana Pada lagna is the prana. Okay, is the prana. And second and eighth are the houses that will detach prana from you, that will cause the termination of prana. So you have to study these two houses to understand the 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 time of death. Now this you have to analyze. This you can do to analyze the charts of deceased people. Here we'll be taking the one of the famous leader that recently deceased from South India. That is Miss Jayalalitha. She died on I think 6th December 2016, and let me take it. Okay, so she is Gemini lagna, and Jupiter is there in the 7th house. The Prana Pada lagna is in the 2nd house, having Saturn. Okay, and look at the Rudra Bhava from Prana Pada lagna. It is 2nd and the 8th from Prana Pada lagna. 2nd one contains the Mars and Moon. The 8th one has Mercury and Sun. So beware of the planets which are there: Mars, Moon, Mercury, Sun. Also the planet in the Prana Pada lagna. Also. Okay, so the planets in the Prana Pada lagna, the planet in the 2nd and 8th from the Prana Pada lagna. Okay, now you also have to take into consideration the Prana Pada lagna in the Navansha. Okay, so what we call that, Rashi Tulya Navansha. Okay, so if Prana Pada lagna is here in Cancer, then look at the sign, look at the planets in the Cancer Navansha, look at the sign, look at the planets in the Leo and Aquarius Navansha. Okay, now those planets that are there in the Navansha also, they also inflict pain. They also inflict, they could be cause of death. Okay. Now in the chart of Miss Jayalalitha, you'll see since the okay. So in the Vimshotri Dasha, she was running Jupiter, Mercury. Okay. Now you see here the Prana Pada lagna is in the Cancer sign, and Mercury is there in the 8th house from Prana Pada lagna with Sun. And who is Sun? He is the 2nd lord from Prana Pada lagna. So now you see the presence of Mercury and Sun in the 8th from Prana Pada lagna and how triggered the death of Miss Jayalalitha. Now to confirm, double confirm, you just have to check some of the other Rashi Dasha also. Like here we'll see the Shul Dasha, the Niryan Shul Dasha, and you'll see that in the Niryan Shul Dasha, she was running Pisces Cancer. Okay, Pisces Cancer. And Cancer is what? The Prana Pada lagna itself. So now you see how the presence, how we can use the Prana Pada lagna technique. Here is the chart of Mahatma Gandhi. You see Prana Pada lagna is in the Pisces sign, and the planet in 2nd and 8th are Jupiter, Mars, Venus and Mercury. Now if you see the time of death, he died on 31st January 1948. That time, if you see Vimshotri Dasha, he was running Jupiter, Venus, Jupiter. Okay. Now you see Jupiter is in the 2nd house from Prana Pada lagna and Venus in the 8th house, and how these two events, how these two planets took away his prana. Friends, the information here in these videos is not to be used for causing pain to somebody or for causing anxiety to anybody. This is only for the serious enthusiasts of astrology. So please do not make any bad use of this. Thank you very much.